Lily's moving my hand. It's kind of funny. Um, all right. I have to say some of the stuff so that for from the background, my background, so it can be properly understood. Um, I've always been extremely empathic and stuff, even as a little kid, and I've known things. And because of what I am, I was made, the strongest there is for that, stronger than they were.
Mm.
Uh, and they made me like that on purpose, that and very strong. They figured I'd always just do whatever they told me to.
Mm.
Um, but like I've told you about the time when, I'm trying to go through this fast. I don't like talking about it, but about the time the original first being male and female were talking, they couldn't even see me.
Yes.
And then after that happened, and then when that happened, and then that very night, the original first being male went into my head and destroyed part of my brain that was related to all that, and I had to redo stuff. Uh, the brain never grew back, but I just adapted to go around it. But still, I could hear people's thoughts all the time.
Hmm.
It became such a problem after a while that I had to teach myself how to ignore it and set it aside.
Hmm.
Just as not as personal, has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business.
Mm.
So as soon as anything would pop up that would fall loosely into that category, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's like driving down the highway. You see a sign, you don't need to worry about it. It's not time to turn, so you don't look at it.
Yeah.
Uh, my personal Lily's really helping me right now. Uh, so anyway, every time I told you that I think they're afraid that I said they're afraid that I might go crazy and kill the rest of creation if I don't come out smooth.
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
told you've heard me that for years or whatever. I don't even know time anymore. Um, so I woke up this morning and I was uncomfortable with the way things were that now I'm finally just shutting down completely. I mean, that's it. No brain, no nothing. I said, now what do I do if they're not able to get me out? And they tell me, don't worry, say like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Mm.
I'll put you in a body and we'll see how you do with this. And I didn't say it to be mean. I said it being factual, which
Yeah.
is really the way things are over there. So then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Raj calls me up. But he texted me, and I was told to make sure I answered not the Skype thing. He said it's changing. I said, yeah. Uh, I got him set up on Signal too. Um, so we talked just for a couple of minutes, and it was to calm me down with that thought process.
Mm.
And the more he talked, the more they added to it, and it did calm me down. Early in the morning, anywhere from 2 to 5, whenever it is, I wake up. That's when the human body is its energy is at the strongest, although that's no strength here. Um, and that's when I would always have more concerns trying to understand something, and then as soon as I wake up, I know it for a fact. But there's that little lapse of time,
Yeah.
when I'm first waking up, when it's whatever's in me is usually out flying around, like everyone else mostly. Um, so. And some of the stuff that came up in the conversation, he was being led to talk to me about stuff, uh, to tell me some information. So then I'm going to send you this later too. He told me about two different people that are talking now, and one of them, the big politicians and presidents listen to, and
Hmm.
they're talking about the Eben are coming, and not tomorrow, like not soon, but now.
Okay.
And that's members of the Eben community talking with their quote unquote psychics, whatever,
Yeah.
metaphysical practitioners, telling them to spread the word. Um, and that some of the people are freaking out about it, and the higher ups, like Gates and the rest of them,
Hmm.
that there's something going on, and the Sepoians, the even Sepoians, left their information a little bit loose and foggy, so that it could be manipulated into more later. That's don't want to go there. Uh, it's hard enough to try to do this. So anyway, so then my personal Lily said, "Don't worry, it's okay." And I said, "That's easy for you to say."
Mm.
And she said, and then the three Lilies talked as one. I could hear like a slight difference in tone and
Yeah.
frequency, but it was three of them at one time, and they said, "You destroyed almost everything."
Hmm.
And
Mm.
it's like, yeah. I said, look back in time, and it's like it in regards to something I'm doing. Uh, I'm like a rock in the stream of time,
Yes.
like a big boulder. So I make it not purposefully. It makes it more difficult for Big Lily to see that for herself. And the guy had told her, look, he kept getting attacked.
Mm.
He had no choice. And Big Lily, said, I understand, but still, we have to be careful. Now, that's a conversation they had between themselves.
Right.
But what
Mm.
they just told me now is we had to do it this way. You have to be like inebriated, and we're taking you home. Don't worry about it. We got this. You're coming home. We're going to finish pulling you out of the body, but not until you're like inebriated, or I don't know what the word is. Just, how I'm really having problems to do anything with thought process. Make coffee. That's out unless I'm made to make it. Uh, Forgetting how to use a microwave. Uh,
Hmm.
Looking at the computer, forgetting how to turn it on.
So non compos mentis is the old Latin way of saying it.
That sounds good to me. I'll take a double with the side of toast. So they want me like that, so they don't have to worry about the possibility. They're not worried that it's not the word I'm going to go ahead and do it,
Yeah.
but they have to put aside the possibility that I could do that and destroy creation.
Right.
Of course, if I did, I could literally bring it back and nobody would know anything. But it doesn't matter. I'm not in charge.
Mm.
I might have said the other day. Oh, okay. It just got taken right out of my head. She said, "That's enough talking about that. Just move forward." And I'm like, "All right." Uh, so yeah. So the good news is I'm coming up on that really quick. But the bad news is I have to prepare. I have to make sure I have everything I need
Yeah.
to go through a week of that when I won't be able to. I'll be doing good to answer the door. Of course, no one ever comes over, but that's on
Mm.
purpose.
Yeah.
But it's finally come to that point where I'm that way, so that now they're comfortable and we can pull them out. That's why they're always watching me.
Yes.
How close is he? So I did such a good job killing while I was here and taking out the crap that it's penalizing us. But, without Big Lily being out, and she needed to be where she was. So anyway, um, yeah, they just pulled their energy out of me, and now I'm more like myself. But if I didn't want any coffee because this body doesn't, as when you're dying, the body just changes.
Yes.
and you're what you want and everything. I don't even want to eat, but I have to. But like I looked at a coffee machine and I'm like, well, no, none of that. And I couldn't remember, you know, the steps in making espresso, which is the simplest thing in the world. So we're really close, but damn, I don't know. Is that 2 more weeks or whatever? I'm seeing what they're saying. What Big Lily, when she said May 28th, was it? Was
Yes,
it?
Wednesday, the 28th of May. Yeah,
She said that. I could feel her being very finite about it.
definite.
And Gaia told me that you're ready to go. Just hang on, and they'll let loose. Gaia told them everything that's been happening, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just I have to protect all the creation, but that's my main format. But it's also part of Lily's.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So so it might go to the 28th. I don't know, but she was warning me, get ready to be gone. I mean, mentally shut down.
Right.
You know, um, I'll probably at that point still be able to say hi, how are you, but not hold any kind of a conversation.
No. Mm.
So my mental faculties are being shut down, and that's good for what we need. But
she's still being definite about the 28th as the back.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and again in big capital letters, if it goes that far.
Okay, got it.
So I'm so bad off now. They're helping me talk to you.
Mm.
When I start to go like that is when they start pulling their energy back, and it's just a rotted chunk of mud in my skull, and
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
course the body's all shutting down too. So it's good news. I felt the end coming. I felt myself dying since 24, well, before 2014. 2014, I felt it coming on, but then it's slow, and finally getting Big Lily out was the best thing that can happen, even though at first it wasn't too good a thing.
It was a necessary chapter.
Yeah, it was. I needed her help to get out.
Mm.
And she came out and she's like, she was mad at me for having her in there. And I said, I didn't do it to you. I did it with you, for you. And you know
Yeah.
that you were there.
Yeah.
You didn't say no. You said, let's do this. And then I said, whatever, go away. It doesn't matter. I'll find a way to do this myself. And told her I still love you anyway. And it just took few days, a week at the most, and she was turned right around.
Mm-hmm.
What a bunch of nonsense. And I don't know, the way the poor angels, the way they used to use the first angels to go down into people's hypothalamus glands and tell them how wonderful things were.
Mm.
They never liked it. They never, some of them, it made them crazy. Everything's so awful, just that's how it happened. Um, anyway, wow, I can't remember much of anything other than the basics of what I was just saying. I have no recollection whatsoever. And she's warning me about my creams and stuff because I'm real low. Um, she's messing around in the dead area of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's to try to be able to talk better. Because I'm shutting down for good. And Guy is like, as soon as they say yes, it's done. It's like guys looking at me. She's showing me an ice box and the lid's open, and
Mm-hmm.
her being allowed to just reach over and shut the lid.
Yeah.
But that's the first time since that's the first time in this life that I was actually told that's what they were doing. That's why it's been taking so long, and that's why we're here. It just needs to finish. It needs to play out. That's what
Yes.
she said. But and that's why, because I wonder why she said May 28th when it was early April when I was talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And they keep watching because is he ready yet? And that's why they didn't know. I had to get to the point where they were able to start shutting down my brain just totally. So, well, as far as the May 28th goes, we're still on schedule, and she doesn't see that being a possibility. She just said she never knows with me. She said, I never know with you. And I'm like, okay. 5-5.
Yeah, today's 5-5.
Uh, Cinco de Mayo.
Indeed.
Okay. Um, yeah, that's all there is. Let me turn off the recording, this one, for a minute.